So, in this video, I just want to show you guys a really cheap, really simple form of art that's totally awesome, will blow your mind, and yeah. So yeah, here we go. Let me just set the camera on the box here. Okay, now this art's really easy, because, okay, right here in front of me I got a simple piece of poster board, the kind that's glossy on one side and not on the other. Now we have the glossy side on the top here. Now, what I'm going to do is create a galaxy. That's right, a galaxy. You guys said it. It's easy. So first I'm just going to put some lids, spray some paint, just as a place marker. So these are where my planets are going to be. So I have this, 3-planet solar system thing going on here. Now, the first one I want to do, I'm going to start with the middle here. And I want to do like a moon, a style of moon, like ours, yes. So you just put some black, put some white, and then a little bit of black right over that. Now, this kind of looks like a mess, as you can see, but this is easy because you just take a piece of magazine paper, put it over the top, and pull. And I need to do that 1 or 2 more times. Now my hand's kind of in the way, my bad. Alright, so it still looks like a kind of a blobby mess, but don't worry, just put a little more paint down. Now, that doesn't look a thing like our moon, right? Just looks like a complete mess. But just go with me here. Now I'm going to add some shadows, because for this scene, I want my star, to be in the corner, the top left corner. So I'm going to put the lid back on it, because I don't want to get any more paint on it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a moon. It would just be some psychedelic sun or something. Alright, so the next one, I'm going to work on the top right one. I want it to be like a blue, icy planet. Or at least I'm going to try and make it look like ours, like Earth. So I'm going to put some blue down for the water, of course. A little bit of white for some clouds. And green for planet. I mean, I would put brown down, but I'm just going to stick with green for now. I don't want to try and do anything complicated. I want to keep this simple and, under 10 minutes. Yeah. I'm going to apologize in advance. My camera has this auto light adjustment thing, and I'm wearing a black shirt, and that was a really bad idea, because every time my sleeve gets in front of the camera, it's going to think it's all dark, and then I'm going to move my, arm out of the way, and everyone's going to be blinded for like 2 seconds. So, I'm going to put some shadow right here, and then cover that one up. Now, this art is really, really cheap. I mean, all you need to do is get some poster board, which is like 50 cents each at Freddy's, and then just get some spray paint. The good kind, the kind that shoots in a circle, not in a line. For this one here, I want to do like a Mars-style planet. And then I'm going to put some black, and you'll see why in a second. Now, the orange paint I got, it's a really thick paint. And it kind of does something cool when you, instead of just kind of blending together, you can actually see definite shapes. Yeah, there it is. Now, that looks bad at first, but once I add my shadows and some details, it'll look like effects on the land. So, I put my shadow, and everyone was blinded. Gonna put my pot lid, alright. Now, for the next part, I want to do the space-style atmosphere, and I don't want it to just be some black, blank ground. You need to add a multitude of colors to make it look like in the background there's some kind of a nebula or a colored effect or something will be going on in the background. Now, it looks like I'm spraying colors at random, but I'm really not. I'm really making sure I get some kind of a pattern down. Alright. So now I am gonna spray a little bit of black just to fill it in, cover up all the corners. Now, hopefully this video will give you, some incentive to just go out and practice, and you can find tons of these little tutorials all over the place. But for the next part here, I'm going to try and do not necessarily a rainbow, but definitely some kind of a line in the background. Add a little bit of blue. Now it looks bad at first, but once you have to keep in mind that all this paint is still wet, and it's going to blend together as it dries, and actually fade a little bit too. So you may see these strong, prominent lines, but they'll actually mix in as the paint dries. Speaking of paint drying, I'd almost forgotten. Add a little bit of white to add to the spacey atmosphere as well as the light, contrasting with the planets. Because keep in mind, it's going to be in the top left corner. There's going to be a cool Jesus-like star. Now, you got to give it a couple minutes to dry. Might see, so fast forward in the audio. Alright, we're back. Had to do a little 5-minute transition point while I waited for the paint to thin out. Next I'm going to do the star, and my sleeve's going to get a little in the way here, but hopefully you guys can, it's going to get a whole lot in the way. Now I'm using the cardboard here to make sure that the paint doesn't go and get all over the place. I'm trying to keep it in a straight line, as you can see right there. Add the middle, voila, instant star. Now for the next part is stars. I'm just turning the can sideways and just pressing the nozzle just so it spurts out white all over the place. All those little dots. Now I like to go crazy with the stars, so there's a ton on here. More than there probably should be. Okay, and then this part's cool. Now this is a comet. You just turn the can upside down and just hit it gently. Voila, instant comment. Now I'm gonna add 2 because I don't want it to be alone. It needs a little friend. Happy. It's a happy little comet flying in space. Now, after all this has happened, I'm going to pull these off, and you're going to see these planets. And there's our moon. And there's finally our little Earth-like planet. And I have just created an entire space scene in less than 8 minutes. So, alright, voila.